Welcome back to the channel. The M6 Heavy tank was one of America's earliest attempts to build a true heavy tank during World War II, designed to bring massive firepower and thick armor to the battlefield. The M6 was a response to concerns that the US military might be outgunned by Germany's growing arsenal of armored vehicles. What resulted was a tank that was ambitious in scale, but never saw combat, yet its design and capabilities still spark interest today. Among military historians and tank enthusiasts, measuring nearly 10 meters in length and weighing around 60 tons, the M6 had a commanding presence. Its design was based around delivering overwhelming firepower with multiple weapons. The main gun was a 76.2 mm M7 cannon mounted in a rotating turret. This was complemented by a secondary 37 mm M5 gun coaxially mounted alongside it. On top of that, the tank had up to 5 machine guns, including a .50 caliber Browning M2 placed on the turret and .30 caliber Browning M1919s positioned at various points, including the hull. This armament mix allowed the M6 to engage both armored threats and infantry units effectively, at least in theory. Powering this giant was a Wright G200 gasoline engine, a 9-cylinder radial aircraft engine that generated up to 825 horsepower. The tank was capable of reaching speeds up to 22 miles per hour on roads, which was impressive for a vehicle of its size and weight. It featured a hydromatic transmission system, which was relatively advanced for the time. The tank's suspension. The system used vertical volute springs to manage the load and terrain, helping it maintain mobility despite its mass. Armor protection on the M6 was significant. The frontal armor was up to 102 mm thick, with sloped surfaces that added extra deflection ability. Side and rear armor was slightly thinner but still formidable for the era. This heavy armor gave the M6 survivability on the battlefield against anti-tank guns and enemy fire, reinforcing its role as a breakthrough tank meant to smash through defensive lines. Inside the tank, the crew consisted of 6 men: commander, gunner, loader, driver, co-driver, and radio operator. The internal layout was tight, as expected in such a massive machine packed with ammunition and heavy components. Visibility for the crew was limited, relying on periscopes and vision slits. Communication was handled with intercoms and radios, allowing coordination within the tank and with nearby units. One of the defining features of the M6 was its developmental complexity. The original version, the M6, had an electric transmission system, while the M6A1 came with a conventional mechanical transmission. Differences in production methods, components, and systems made standardization difficult. The tank's size also posed logistical challenges, making it harder to transport, especially across oceans or narrow bridges on the European front. Despite all its promise, the M6 heavy tank never entered combat. By the time it was ready for deployment, newer tank doctrines favored more versatile and mass-producible medium tanks like the M for Sherman. The M6's sheer size, complex systems, and changing tactical needs led to its cancellation. Only about 40 units were produced before the program was officially halted. Although it didn't make it to the battlefield, the M6 laid the groundwork for future American heavy tanks and served as a valuable learning platform. It showcased the challenges of integrating multiple weapon systems, managing vehicle weight, and producing heavily armored machines on a large scale. Lessons learned from the M6 helped inform the design of post-war heavy tanks like the T-29, T-30, and eventually the M103. Today, only one M6 heavy tank survives, preserved at the United States Army Ordnance Museum. It stands as a rare example of America's early experiments with heavy armor and remains a fascinating subject for military engineers, historians, and tank collectors. The combination of brute force, advanced engineering for its time, and historical importance make the M6 a unique chapter in the story of armored warfare. Its legacy, while not forged in battle, still influences how we understand the evolution of tank design and military strategy. The M6 might not have fired a shot in war, but its story is far from forgotten.